Alrighty, today's Saturday. Just got home from the farmer's market. It rained there about all morning. Wasn't a real busy day, but we still did alright. Definitely wasn't our best, but wasn't our worst either. So anyways, I'm just going to go through and give you a quick update for the week. We hadn't had a video out since last Sunday morning. I think I put one out. Hadn't put one out since. So I'm going to do a walk around and just show you what's growing on around here. Alright, so down here on the lower side, I got all the wood chips down, and that's this bed this week. Which, I mean, I didn't do it all at one time, but it's just, I mean, a little here, a little there when I had a chance, and when it wasn't raining. So that's done. So I'm going to let that settle for a couple days, maybe a week or so, and we'll plug in some other plants in between everything else. I'm going to put some annuals in there. I'll probably plant in some tomatoes, and I'm not sure what all I'm going to put in there. I'm going to do real similar to what David the Good does in his grocery gardening. Except for I want to use wood chips for mulch, and where he tills it up, he puts some wood chips in, uses mulch, chalk and drop stuff. That's what I'm going to do here. It's going to be like a grocery gardening, and I do have his book, so I'm going to go by it pretty much. But I'm going to do my own little twist to it. But anyhow, that's where that's going to go. And the asparagus, they're definitely growing up. We did go through here and pull the weeds out this week. Let me spin the camera around and I'll show you a little closer view of it. So we got asparagus coming up everywhere. As you can see, which I estimated when I put them in here in this bed, I put in what I estimated to be roughly 200 and something odd seeds, and they definitely are coming up. And then the peas, they're doing pretty good for just being a cover crop. And actually, I've been sneaking down here eating some once in a while when they're full, when the pod's full. Like them theirs, they're not full, but they are delicious though. If you get that pod, you break it open. These here's English peas, so you gotta take them out of the hut or out of the shell to eat them. They're definitely far from being ready to pick, but man, they are so good. And eating them raw, I just let that husk lay. I'm not gonna worry about it. Those, I'll just eat them raw, just like that. They are so good and juicy and sweet. It's been about 2 weeks since I did a garden tour. I'm not going to do a full tour this time. I'm just going to show you a couple quick updates on some stuff. Everything is looking really good. Our zucchini's getting devoured by cucumber beetles, and they are totally devouring it. I sprayed some stuff on twice, not over-the-counter stuff, homemade fertilizers that I make here, and I've got a video coming out on that. I'll show it to you here soon. These two beds here is 3 rows of corn. I think I videoed that when I planted them, but I'm not real sure. They are starting to come up. They're starting to germinate. They've been in there about a week or so. I'm skipping over those peas. Them's just snap peas. They're growing like weeds. They're doing really good. Speaking of weeds, there's a bunch in the walkways. I don't know if you can see them in the camera or not. But and these potatoes, they're starting to bloom. I did mulch. Half of this bed was grass clippings. We bagged our grass the last 2 times we mowed and mulched them with it. Our dried beans are coming up really nice. On that far end of this bed, right past the pepper plants where the black ground cover is, them salad turnips, they're doing really well. They're starting to germinate. I just put them in like Wednesday. Today's Sunday or Saturday, so they've only been in a couple days. And our tomato plants, they're looking pretty good. I need to get them hung yet, but they're looking good. So for all you locals, we're closed for the season. Yesterday was our last open business day here. We will be open by appointment only. We do have a few plants left. Some of these perennials we're going to plant. Some of the rhubarb. I'm going to put in a fair bit of the rhubarb down below. Yeah, some of these, the raspberries in that pile, I'm going to plant all those. A few other things we're going to plant. But we're pretty much, I don't know if you remember how it looked before when we first opened up, but this place was crowded. Those are zinnias, so they're not, we'll probably plant some of those, but some of those we'll probably keep selling them at the farmer's market and whatnot till they're gone. So a lot of this stuff is in the mince, this kind of stuff we're going to keep selling at the market throughout the season. These hanging baskets, I think they're going to end up going to the auction probably Tuesday. As far as vegetables goes, there's very few and far between. I don't know if you remember how it looked in here before. This place was crowded. There's hardly nothing in here anymore. A lot of empty shelves. We got some teddy bear sunflowers. Most of this stuff is past its prime. It's probably going to end up in the compost, most of it, because it's not like them squashes. They're not worth planting. They're all yellow and nasty, so they're going to take a trip. Some of the tomatoes, we're going to try to sell some of those. I think my wife's mother wants some. She wants some bell peppers and some cabbages, which we have some. Where she come get them. There's cucumbers in the hangers. We're going to sell them. Yeah, so we're pretty much out of plants in here. There was a lady asking us about donating some flowers to the church after the season was over with for the kids to plant. So we're going to probably do that with some of these marigolds, get rid of some of them. And some of them other flowers over there, probably donate them to that church that lady was asking about, which that's pretty cool, good cause for sure. So that's where those are. We sold most everything. We had, I think we planted like 10 or 15,000 plants and all annuals, and this year's all that's left. So we had a pretty good season, no doubt about it. But it's long, and it's not really a long season, but it feels like it takes forever. So yeah, pretty long season. Makes you kind of burns you out a little bit. As far as some of these here goes, these here's all ours. Everything on this side is ours. Those are sunflowers. They're for the market later on this year. Same with that batch there, sunflowers. Most of this here is from cuttings. That's a peach tree that I grew from seed. Over here's a couple more peach trees that I started from seed. Those I'm going to put in down below. I got some apricots and other stuff in here. They're not coming up yet, but I have faith they will though. The sunflowers that we seeded earlier is coming up pretty good. There's some places it's not. I would assume a chipmunk or a bird or something got a hold of seeds. That's fine though. There's still a lot in there. There's still enough in there to get some pretty choice heads out of it this fall. So, and I still have seed left. I'm going to put some more in. I'd like to put some more in down below if I can find a place to put them in. Last Saturday we took the plastic off the cattle panel, and the tomatoes actually had taken off since then, since they got some fresh air, and they're starting to bloom, or starting to ripen. Some of them are. Some of them cherry tomatoes. And the ones that look kind of goofy actually looks really good now, so they look good. Some of them's pretty tall already. I mean, he's back here on this end, it's pretty tall. I need to go through and prune them. Usually when they're at this stage, you got to keep up. You got to prune them and retwist them at least once a week. The asparagus patch, it's doing all right. It's petered out. I'm done. We're done harvesting. We ain't harvested anything for a while. There's probably a few in there we could harvest, but we've eaten and give away, froze. So we're pretty much done with asparagus. Then the Egyptian walking onions, I might dig these up this year and take them down below where them other patch is. I'm gonna take you over to the compost pile right now and show you it. I don't think I've ever brought you over here to this side of the property before, but this is just our compost corner. This year I need to get it out and screen it. I just fill them up till they're full, and then I'll let them settle. And then when that one's full, I'll start this one. And then when that one's full, I'll start this one. And then when that one's full, I'll start that one, and so on down the line. I do screen it out, and I don't worry about flip-flopping it. It takes me longer to make compost than it does most people probably, because I let the soil organisms take care of it for me. I don't have to do it. But it's easier for me. And most of this, as you can see, is already broken down pretty good. This bed here, I just topped it off not too long ago, and then this here's the one we just started. And then we got this space opened, and then I use that mixer that I bought from Harbor Freight for like $100, and I made a screen on it. And I got a video. I'll link to it right here. You can see where I use that screen, and then that underneath that tarp, it is screened compost that I got in there. So I covered up with the tarp so the weed seeds don't land on it. But as you can see, that doesn't work. There's still weed seeds there, stuff growing in it. But that's part of it. So it's all good. So this here potato patch is mostly white potatoes underneath our apple trees. If you remember seeing us put our potatoes in, they're actually starting to flower. They ain't opened yet, but they're starting to form their flowers on them. So it won't be long. This bed here will be done. It'll be ready to dig up, and I'm not sure. When they're done, I'll probably bring the chickens over and let them dig through it. But I put a bunch of ginger in this edge, and none of them come up. But that's okay. It doesn't matter a whole lot. And a lot of the grass clippings, a good friend of ours brought up grass clippings a couple different times that he bags his lawn when he mows, and he brings it up here once in a while for us, and we usually put it in this bed. It definitely helps keep the potatoes covered up and helps keep them moist. This year's been a fairly moist season compared to the last couple, so the potatoes definitely are liking the water a little bit better than being dry. These apple trees are, if you can see them on the camera or not, right there's one. They're loaded. I mean, these things, we should have all kind of applesauce this fall. We don't need a whole lot of apples. We make sauce out of it for the most part. I should have pruned this tree back this winter, but I never. It's so dang thick you can't see through it. Same with that one there. It's a little better, but it's not like this one. This one's insane. This here's our garlic, as you can see, and it's starting to form the scapes. So these were put in last November. I can't remember exactly when, but I'll link to that video right here, where I planted these. It's a pretty lengthy video, but it gives into detail. It gives pretty good detail on how to grow garlic. But it is like 18 or 20 minutes long, so it is a pretty long video. For those of you that don't want to watch the video that long, you can skip through it. The actual planting part's towards the end. But over here on this side of the tree, you can actually see there how many apples are on this tree. Way better than you can from the other side. I mean, this thing is loaded down with apples. So I'll probably, well, nature will take care of a lot of them, but a lot of these I'll probably take off because this tree won't be able to support that many apples. There's no way. So, which is all right. And the onions, they're going pretty good. Spinach is going like crazy. But the garlic, it won't be long. This week, one evening this week, we'll harvest these scapes. Then here's our chickens. This will be the last night they're in this location. In the morning when they wake up, they'll be moved over by the cattle panel greenhouse. So when they go to bed tonight, I'm going to move them. I'll move them in the morning. This evening we got plans going out with some friends. And if anybody has any tips on chickens, that one right there, she's a jerk. She is mean to every last one of them. If anybody has any tips on how to calm them down, let us know. Because she is mean to all chickens. All the rest get along pretty good, but she's a total 100% jerk. So that's pretty much what we got growing on here for the last week. Not a whole lot of changes. The only thing we did really was we seeded in the sweet corn and the turnips. Put the wood chips down below. Weeded a few times. Kept up with things. Kept up with life in general. So, you know, and I'm working, like I said, I'm working on 2 other videos. One's on making fertilizer and one's on sweet potatoes. So when they're ready, hopefully this week I'll have the fertilizer one ready. Some might one evening this week it should come out. Hopefully Tuesday. That might be Tuesday's tip of the week or something maybe. I ain't done one of them in a while. It's going to be a pretty long video, but it's going to have a lot of information in it. Stuff I've been doing for years. I just never documented it. And the sweet potato one, it's not going to be too long. It's just going to be pretty short, I think. Just waiting on them to grow. That's all. So just going to wrap this one up. Please like it if you liked it. Thanks for watching. Till we meet again, y'all take care and God bless. Somebody has them spoiled already. Somebody's got them spoiled. So much for the cornbread. It's all gone.
There you go, girls.
That one right there's a troublemaker. That one right there. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it's a butthole.
A pretty butthole. Bye.